Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Newcastle Town here. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube at the moment. If you're just finding us for the first time, please hit the like on Facebook and also subscribe on our YouTube channel. And you can find us as well across all the social media channels. Tonight we are chatting with our club vice chairman and head chairman of the youth section here at the club. If you've got any questions you'd like to ask Gavin, drop them in the comments. We'll get to them as we can. Gav knows a lot about the running of our football club. So, if you've got any questions about the running of the football club, perhaps the academy, anything to do with that, let us know in the comments. So, without further ado, let's welcome in Gavin Appleby. Good evening, Gav.
Evening.
How are we?
Yes, very well. Yourself?
Yes, I can't grumble to you tonight. I can't grumble to you. Better than the weather. So, but that's a common occurrence of everywhere. So thanks for coming on, Gav. Obviously, much appreciated. We had obviously Robin on last week, so we thought we'd get you on this week. So for those who are probably unaware or just dropping on this stream and don't know, just tell us about your role at the club.
Well, many roles actually, as you know, and all focused from really the youth side all the way up into the first team and through the academy. So wear many hats on different days, which makes life very interesting at the club. You get to deal with a lot of things. So obviously I look after the youth section. I'm chairman of the youth section and have been for a number of years. And then 2-3 years ago became vice chairman of the first team as well. But we're operating really under one umbrella, and my role in that is really to glue things together and to make things work on a day-to-day basis, whether that be facilities or opening up facilities or for games or organising people who volunteer. Right through to the running of the academy. So there's lots of different roles and lots for me to do.
Very much so. Do you have any time to breathe?
Occasionally.
So what got you involved with the club, though, to start with?
I think like many, when you stop playing football, you think of how can you get involved in other ways. And so I think when I stopped playing, it was that case of, how am I going to get involved? And coaching caught my eye. And I actually wrote, not many people know this, you didn't send emails in those days. I actually wrote letters to 3 clubs in the area. So I wrote a letter to Newcastle Town, I wrote a letter to Kidsgrove Athletic, and I wrote a letter to Alsager Town, because they were the closest clubs to me. And said, I want to volunteer to be a football coach. Will you take me? Sort of thing. So Newcastle were the only club that got back to me.
Well, their loss is our game.
Well, so things could have been different if somebody had got back to me a bit earlier. So Newcastle got back to me. A chap called Steve Wilmore got involved just initially, just coaching at the soccer school and helping out with that, which was up at Yale University at the time, around 2002. So I've been involved a long time, and I couldn't even tell you how I've come to take on all these many roles. They just seem to get added every year.
Every time there's a new role comes up, you get the badge there, Gav. That's what he said.
Yeah, except for media, you've got that covered now.
Well, yes, I'm very pleased to take that one off your hands. Very pleased to take one off your hands. So, just looking at the current roles you've got with the club, then, what's a typical, what's a typical day like for you in this current situation that we're in, this current climate that we're in?
Well, there's been quite a bit of work on funding. There's been different funding packages around which we've been looking to access. So I've been doing a lot of work on writing applications and piecing those things together. There's been some ground development work, which I think we'll touch on later, where we've done some ground development work. So it's been a case of coordinating that. And of course, our BTEC Academy scholarship program is still running. We're educating like everybody else, which is online. And so there's still quite a substantial amount of work being done around that, checking on the welfare of the students and making sure that we're still offering a quality teaching experience for those students. And it is more difficult online. Nothing beats that face-to-face interaction and that getting lads together and, you know, then getting them out on the pitch. But we've been working through that, like, you know, every parent at home has, trying to homeschool. So
yeah, and I suppose as well, we'll touch on it early doors, Gav. I dare say you were busy yesterday with the news that we put out at 5 o'clock last night of our very own Ryan McLean going down to Hereford.
Yeah, it was quite a busy day. I mean, in fairness, our chairman, Paul Ratcliffe, had done most of the work on the deal. But as soon as the deal was sort of signed, sealed, delivered, there was a bit of a frenzy to get with yourself to get the information out on the socials and on the website. And then, of course, to update people within the club. You know, the last thing you want is people at the club finding out a really good player like Ryan has gone on loan to Hereford. They need to find out off you. So there was a period of ringing around and messaging around just to let people know that Ryan was off to Hereford and that he was likely to make his debut last night, which he did.
Yeah, came 17 I think it was, he came on, and by all accounts had a really stellar performance, which obviously, Gav, we know that what he is capable of.
Yeah, we're pleased for the lad. He wants to play higher, and he's got an opportunity to go there and, you know, impress. And with our season currently on hold, it doesn't affect us too much in terms of missing him in our team. So.
Now, we certainly, obviously, I think I speak for everyone when I say we wish Ryan the very best of luck down at Hereford. And, you know, he'll always be welcome back. I think I'm safe to say that. He'll always be welcome back.
Oh, he's always welcome. Yeah, he's always welcome. That is for certain. But pleased for him. You know, he's a hard worker and a good football player.
Very much so. So, I mean, you touched on it a little bit, and obviously, you know, we've said about what your current roles are and everything. But, you know, with the lack of football that we've had now, I know I put it out the other day. I think it was 105 days since we last kicked a ball with the first team. 9 million seconds or something daft. It made me feel a little bit unhealthy when I read that. You know, going that long without a bit of football. But what's been happening at the ground? What's new down there? What's been happening?
Well, there's a lot that's been happening. For those that I think some people may have seen in the last game before lockdown, we'd renovated the outside toilets, which was much needed. And so I think some people may have seen just the sort of tail end of that project. So all the outside toilets are now completely renovated, for male and female, and they really are good quality, and you know you could eat in there. They're that good. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could. So the toilets were renovated. We've started renovating a brand new cafe, which I know you saw yesterday, Sean, which is very impressive. So there's that ability to eat and drink and inside and to get served outside, and that, when it is finished, will be a top class facility improvement for us. So that's been ongoing. All the general stuff around the place, like making sure that it's tidy and the upkeep is where it needs to be. We put some lines outside for parking so that people don't take up two or three lanes or park sideways. So
yes, I was very disappointed I didn't see an SR on the floor, though. I must be honest.
This work in progress. So we've had that done just to smarten the sort of parking arrangements up. We're obviously, as you well know, about to build a brand new website, which will reflect what we do at the club much better. And so I think you'll probably give the people more information on that as and when that's coming live. We've also got work undergoing with the far side at the away end, where we're introducing an additional cafe and a brand new club shop. So there's a lot going on, and I think when people do get back, hopefully it's not too long down the line, they'll see the improvements that we've been making.
Yeah, I'll when I popped down yesterday, just the moment you get to the front turnstiles, you can see the changes there. The cafe is absolutely fantastic. That's going to be, to offer the facility for the supporters to sit inside when they're having a drink and a bite to eat at half time is great, because you've got them people who don't probably want to sit in the bar or go and just shelter under a stand, but they've got somewhere now like the cafe, and the general feel of around the ground. It was clean, it was nice, and the pitch looked immaculate, which I would expect it to be. But no, it was a real pleasure to see the improvements.
I think all of it ties into an ongoing process that we've been going through for the last 3 years about upgrading the site, and obviously the changing rooms are second to none now in there. There's a medical room. We've had a new office. So it's just that ongoing improvement of the facilities. The bar's had a complete makeover, in the last 6 months. We've got Sky Sports in there. So all of it's pushing along, to create a better experience for everybody.
Yeah, and obviously we've been limited to what we can, what we can do because of the pandemic that we're in. But certainly once we're back to normality and we can get down to the ground, I know myself from the media and marketing side of the club, I've got big plans of what events we want to run down there at the club. You touched on the website there. We're looking good off the field as well on the field, aren't we, at the moment?
Well, absolutely excellent. And just something like this that we're doing now is something that 12 months ago you'd have probably never thought of doing, and it's probably only been brought around by the pandemic, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely. Just a quick one. If anyone's got any questions they'd like to put to Gavin, if you want to drop them in the comments, we can pick them up. We've got a few views on at the moment, so hello to Kerry, Ben, Heather, who've just put some messages in. So hello to you guys. So let's just moving on, Gav. Obviously, last week we spoke with Robin and we spoke about the academy.
Yeah.
Just tell us a little bit more about your role within it. I know Robin touched on it last week, but just tell us a bit more about your position with the academy.
Yeah, I think my role is complementary to Robin's and James's, in the fact that I tend to look after the back office, as I would call it, and I tend to look after the education side and let Robin focus on the football. That's not to say that Robin is not focused on the education, but that's more my baby and that's more what I look after. So I go to all the meetings and with the as a subcontractor with PM training, and I look after all the data, all the reporting into PM training, registers, making sure that students are on track, making sure that the quality of teaching, making sure the quality of learning is there. So I tend to do a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, which pulls it all together in the classroom and on the football field. I think that's the best way I could describe it.
No, definitely. And I know, like I say, obviously Robin touched on last week, that your background with the with the office side of the academy. But obviously,
yeah, I mean, my background before I came to Newcastle full time was education. So that's my background, and I've worked with some notable clubs on these sort of programs. So it's nothing new to me, but it is very important that we get the quality of education right.
Oh, of course, and as we said before, football can only last a player for a certain amount of time, isn't it? You've got to have that sort of a fallback to a degree. So if a student approached you and was interested in probably joining the academy, what would you suggest to them? What do you feel the benefits of joining our academy are?
Well, I think there's many. I would say that we offer a very personal service in the sense that we know all our students, we know all their individual sort of aspirations, and we're prepared to work with them to achieve their objectives. So that's very sort of close, almost family feel, that these people can trust us and talk to us, and we can help guide them on whatever career path that may be. You know, someone to go to physiotherapy, someone to do sports coaching, someone to do something entirely different, analysis. So there's different routes, but we're keen to work with people and help them explore the route that suits them.
And obviously, like I said, we talked about it last week, we've got students coming from outside the area as well, which, you know, it is fantastic to know that, you know, we've got a wide reach. You know, the football club are reaching, you know, not just in Stoke-on-Trent, Newcastle under Lyme areas. You know, we're reaching out as far as you say, you know, Derby, Huddersfield. Robbie,
well, I think in fairness, the coaching experience that they get with Robin is second to none, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I watched the video last week with Robin on, and I didn't even realise how much he'd done in football. And I think we had a conversation afterwards, just saying there's so much he's done and the experience he's got. Premier League football, he's coached for Man United, one of the biggest clubs in the world, Derby, Port Vale. Such experience that he can pass on to the students. And that is massive for some of the students who want to come and work with Robin, and he's proven with Ryan that he can get the best out of people.
And I think it is them success stories as well, which are, you know, for us as a club, when a student comes to us, they might be thinking Newcastle Town, non-league, but when we can show them, excuse me, what we are achieving as a football club. In the way that we are promoting the players through, and they're going on to play in higher leagues. And obviously, we've had in the past, as you know, Gav, from your time here at the club, we've had players in the past who have now, you know, they're playing in the Football League.
Yeah, and we're a youth project. Even with the first team, there's a lot of young players. That's not to say that we won't sign players of a certain age. We will, but we got a lot of young players, and we started to see this year the benefit of that development process. As we finished, we were third in the table. It was still early doors, but the performances have been absolutely excellent on the whole.
Yeah.
So I think that sort of theme of development runs throughout the club, whether it's within the junior teams, where we've got some excellent people involved now, within the scholarship scheme, or the first team. There's a real stream of development running through the club, and that's what we're about, development. And if somebody can play above our level, we'll help them get there. We won't stand in the way. We'll try and support them to get there.
No, I think that model we have there for the football club, I think it does stand us well. That we do that. You touched on obviously your involvement with the youth section. I know you run a couple of teams down there as well. But for any sort of parents out there who are thinking of, you know, getting their son or their daughter, you know, into football and coming to Newcastle Town, what would you say the best route to do that would be?
Well, there's so many routes now. Obviously, we have nearly 40 teams at the club, which is a massive undertaking every week. Depending on their age, I would suggest that they got involved as early as they can, or as young as they can. So they can do that through many means. We run soccer school on a Saturday morning, which is ability all. So anybody of any ability to come and play football, boys or girls, can get involved. We've got teams starting at under sevens, which run by Nathan Sutton, Sam Bradbury and James Askey, who do a fantastic job through our connections with Ministry for Sport. We run summer clubs, where again, it's ability for all types of ability to come down and get involved in the summer clubs, which run every half term. Obviously not pending any COVID restrictions, of course, in there. So there's many ways to get involved. I would suggest for anyone looking to get involved, just get on the website, get on the social media, ping a message over. You and your team will pick the message up and direct them in the right way. So we've got all these social media sites now. It's very easy to get hold of yourself and the team, and you guys can point everybody in the right direction of exactly where they need to go.
Yeah, definitely. As you say, we're across all the social media channels. Obviously, we've launched a TikTok channel. This past few weeks, which we've put a couple of videos up there already. But if anyone does want to just contact the club, we have got 2 websites out there. We will soon have one. But you can contact us via both of them. So if your child is looking to get involved in football, we have the soccer school information on the website as we've just seen there. Or just you can message us via the Facebook page, the Twitter, YouTube, however you need to contact us. We'll pick them up. So just sort of stepping away from the youth section, it's looking like our season's not being resumed. So I suppose we've touched on it already, but I take it now all the plan and prep is for the 2021-22 season.
Yeah, I think so. We're ready to start again if the league and government decide that that's okay for us to do so. If they were to say tomorrow, right, we're kicking off, then we're ready. But yeah, we're planning towards next season. As I said earlier, we've got some relatively big projects coming through with additional cafe, a brand new cafe, new club shop. So we've got some other projects in the pipeline that I can't announce tonight, but we would like to work on. Club website is mainly your baby, Sean, to be fair, but it's going to go work into the club website. So we're ready for either outcome, and I think the view the club has taken in recent years has been the long view. We're not just looking at today and tomorrow, we're looking at 12 months, 18 months, 24 months time and pushing on. So I think, yes, we're ready for today and we're ready for tomorrow, but we're planning for the future and trying to make the facilities and team and club as good as it can be.
Yeah, and I just touched on that. Obviously, good evening to Alan and Dave Dale who've just jumped on. But Heather's just left us a message. Good evening to you both. The football club is unrecognisable from what it was some 15 years ago, and I congratulate everyone, past and present, that have contributed to this. Quick question now, which I think you've just touched on. How far do you want to take the club, or have you reached its peak? And I think the answer certainly is we haven't reached the peak at all.
No, and I think Robin Pickering, who's sent that question in, knows the club from old and remembers the club when it was a very small club. And you think of the size of club we are now, we're absolutely massive. There's over 500 kids playing football every weekend, when COVID restrictions aren't in place. So we're a real massive outfit and we provide a lot of football to a lot of kids, but there's so much more we can do. Girls football is something that is high on the agenda. We want to get more girls into playing football, again, across all the ages. We want to look at retaining people within the club when they finish playing. We want to look at how we can keep people involved. And as you see there, we've got Charlotte Clark involved now on the girls' side of things, so that they've got that role model to look up to. So I think in answer to the question, and I think you alluded to it, Sean, I don't think we're anywhere near where we're going to be. And as I said slightly earlier, we've got a lot of plans for the future, a lot of plans. And we're looking forward to seeing how far we can go, because we feel we can push on again.
No, very much. I know the girls' football, and for anyone who wants to get involved, in football, if they're looking for just girls' teams, there is the inquiry form up there on the website. That again will come straight through to us at the club. GDPR regulated, so don't worry about your details going to someone in Russia. We don't do that. We don't deal with Russians unless Robin finds a fantastic centre forward that we can.
Well, that's one thing. Yeah.
But obviously the options are there, as we said on the website to contact us. Just another message that's come through. Dave Dale here. With a lack of games throughout the lockdown, do you think that it will cost less this season to prepare for the following season in relating to the pitches he's on about?
Yes, I think, because it's an interesting question, because a club like ourselves normally spend this serious amount of money in the summer trying to get your pitch better. Now, we've got a pretty good draining pitch and always have had, and so I would suspect that most clubs will cut back on their spend on the pitch if the season isn't resumed, because it just hasn't had the volume of games that it normally has. I mean, our pitch in the last couple of years has probably averaged around 70 games a season. Years previous, it's had 100 games a season on. That is too much. So we are looking to bring that number down. But I think, in answer to Dave's question, it is likely that most clubs will spend less on their pitch, because I don't think it will need it. But that's for the ground staff to comment on.
Yeah. I mean, also with us, obviously we've got, we spoke about it last week again, with Robin about Row Lane and the pitches we've got up there. And, I mean, I've been involved in grassroots football, as you know, and I think but it probably has done the world of good in a way, not having that winter period on the pitches, that's just gone, because, we all know that, we all get annoyed when we wake up on the Sunday morning, when you're in the under 8s, under 9s, and you're like, yeah, match is off, frozen pitch, waterlogged pitch. But, hopefully next year, or at the end of this year, should we say, the pitches are maybe going to hold up a little bit better, hopefully, for the.
Well, this is one of the reasons people talk about a winter break and to play longer into the summer, and it's for the benefit of the pitches, really. But they haven't had that sort of wear and tear. But we had snow with Row Lane. We had snow on it for 3 weeks, so there'd have been difficulty playing much football. But that's the same as what we're doing at the stadium. We're investing in facilities. We want to provide the best facilities. We've just got more gym equipment, brand new gym equipment to go into the gym. So
I'm looking forward to seeing the pictures of that, Gav. I'm not looking forward to seeing them. I'm looking forward to seeing the pictures.
Yeah, I think I'll just do the pictures. No more. So we've got a fantastic gym up there now with brand spanking new equipment in, top commercial gym equipment. So that side's developing as well.
No, great. And obviously, let's just mention that you are a coach of the youth teams. Yes. How have they been finding the lot? Have you been setting them little challenges and keeping them prepared for when we get told we can kick a football again?
Yeah. Well, I think when you look at, say, for instance, the under 18s, they are obviously of the age where they should be mature enough to do their own thing. Some of these players are looking to play for the first team, and it's at that sort of level in the next 18 months. So they should be mature enough to do their own sessions and their own fitness. A lot of it is running, in fairness, and some of your upper body stuff. Obviously, with the younger teams like the under 11s, you've got to keep them ticking with some tasks. And I know the Ministry for Sport Boys have been doing some tasks with the under 7s and 8s. They've been doing weekly challenges. So yeah, there's been plenty of activity in terms of Zooms and webinars to try and keep the kids engaged. It is difficult. The summer was much easier because you could get outside. The weather was good. At this stage, it's been a tad more difficult for coaches to keep the kids active. But a lot of coaches have done a lot with them, or as much as they can, to try and keep them ticking over. But it is difficult because they all love going on Xbox and PlayStation as well.
Very much so. I know you just about Nathan and James as well. Hopefully we're going to have them on in a few weeks' time as well, just to have a chat with them and get a feel of how the younger players, like you say, the under sevens, the new starters in football, how they're going to, what they can expect for the parents more than anything. Because I remember when I was getting my lad into football, I didn't know what to expect as well. So I think we're going to be certainly looking to do a webinar where we can, just parents can ask the questions about what they need to know for when they come and get started.
Yeah, I mean, they do a great job. There's no question. The kids love them. They know what they're talking about. The football people, and we've got a lot of good people involved in the club. Some ex-players, some just outstanding football coaches. So we've got a real nice blend within the club now of people who have played and have experience of the game, and some really good people to help develop the kids.
Yeah, definitely. So there's no more questions that have just come in. So we've been on for 40 minutes, Gav, and we don't want to go into injury time. We're not being or anything like that.
You couldn't stop Robbie last week.
Well, hey, we've got engagement. We like it. On the
He's got a lot to say.
And we've got him on again next week, all being well. Him and James are coming on next week to do a little bit more talking about the academy again. Because obviously, the academy is a big part of our football club.
There's been so much interest in it, Sean. There's been so much interest in it.
Yeah, with the numbers we've had over the past week on Facebook for watching last week's video has been fantastic, and obviously, like I say, the emails that have come in from people inquiring. And I think when I looked on Monday, I think the actual brochure on the website, I believe that had been downloaded 41 or 42 times, which is fantastic.
Yeah, we've attracted this time, I have to say, and this is no disrespect to any of the previous years, we've attracted such good quality players as well to the programme. Some of the players we've attracted are really, really good football players. And Robin set them a task the last week to do some running, some sprinting and some running. And some of the times that 16-year-olds are coming in with are absolutely amazing. They've been blown away with how quick they are, how fit they are. And it's a generation of fit football players coming through who are physically fit and know the game. And the quality is just mind-blowing at this stage. And long may it continue for us, because it bodes well for us for the future, of course.
Most certainly, and I think we've got some fast players coming in. If Ryan, if the low move becomes a permanent move, then we've got the fast-paced players to come back in and replace Ryan. Then I know certainly from my point of view, I can't wait to get down and watch some football, not just for the first team, but for the academy as well, and the 18s and the teams as well, just to see, as you say, the flow of the players we've got coming through.
And you can see that with the first team, the transformation in the first team. I mean, you've been involved now about 18 months, Sean, or just shy of that?
Yeah.
So, 3 years ago to now, the team's unrecognisable. It's fit, it's got pace, it's got energy. It's a really good developing team. And we have a real identity now of how we play and what Robin wants from us. And that is starting to filter down throughout the whole club. We're seeing these players in the under 18s now. We're seeing these players in the under 17s, 16s. We're starting to develop that throughout the club and have a real identity for being a fast, fit outfit across the board.
No, definitely. And comments that some of the players beat the first team's times for the 1 mile.
I wouldn't like to comment on that.
No. I can only presume
he might know more than me. Yeah, well, in fairness to Lee, his lad's time was absolutely excellent. He posted a really good time amongst others. And in fairness to Lee, some of the players who have come to the academy have worked with Lee for a number of years, and Lee's done a great job in developing him.
No, That's fantastic. Well, Gav, we really appreciate your time coming on to the live tonight on Facebook and YouTube, and giving us that insight to your role at the club, as well as giving us the insight to the academy and everything else at the club. So we really appreciate your time.
I think the thing just to add there at the end, Sean, if you don't mind, is if anybody's got any questions, this club isn't a closed book anymore. This club is very open. If you have any questions about the club, contact us. We'll give you the answer. If we can, we'll give you the answer. We'll be open and honest about where we're at and where we want to be at. And if you want to get further involved in the club, we're always looking for good volunteers. We've got some great people, some absolutely fantastic people that volunteer at this club and are involved in the club, yourself being one of them. But we're always looking for more. So if somebody's watching and thinking you've been pretty bored over the lockdown and want to get involved with a grassroots football club, we've got many roles that we could fill and get you involved in. We've got plenty on the media side to go at, or we've got plenty down at the ground or in the youth section. So anybody who does want to get involved, don't think that it's going to be a no or barriers are going to be put up. We welcome people getting involved with open arms and helping all of us develop a club for the community.
Yeah, 100%. From the media side, I know certainly one thing I'm looking for next season is, for people to come in and help us out with the videos, because we're going to be filming the first team games, and we're going to be putting them up on YouTube and, as I mentioned, TikTok earlier. So we're looking for video editors. This
could be somebody in the youth section that fancy a go at it. It could be somebody playing in the under-16s that's interested in that type of thing. So there's loads of opportunities for people to get involved, and don't feel shy about coming forward and asking. We'll always welcome people who want to help the club move forward with open arms.
100%, and obviously, as I say, the email address is on our Facebook page and also, on our website as well. It's on there. So, if anyone wants to just ask the questions, drop them via email. We'll forward them straight on to the person who it relates to. And as you say, if you said there, Gavin, we can answer the question, we certainly will. If it's a question we can't answer, we'll just say can't answer that right now, but we'll let you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gav, once again, really appreciate your time, mate. Thank you very much for this tonight.
You're welcome.
So that's Gavin Appleby, our club vice chairman and head of the youth section here at Newcastle Town Football Club, giving us a great insight into the club. Thanks for everyone who's been on tonight, all the questions that have come through on the chat. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the little notification bell as well to be notified when we upload new videos. Also, make sure you like and follow us here on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, and now if you want to, you can also follow us on TikTok. We've got a couple of videos on there as well, and we're going to add a few more over the next few days. If anyone has got any questions, as I say, the email address is info@newcastletownfc.com. Just drop the emails over and we will forward them on to whoever it relates to. Once again, thank you very much for watching it tonight. We are back next week with Robin van der Laan and James Askey. Don't forget, on the 27th of this month, Saturday the 27th, I am doing a live football fun quiz on here on a Saturday night. Something different for everyone. An opportunity for you to have a beer and have a good at your football knowledge. So I hope to see you all for that as well. Thanks again for your time, folks. Take care. Stay safe.